welcome back to Pia Talks. Tonight we are talking The Real Housewives of New York, Season 12, Episode 4. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, do it now. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content. So this episode picks up exactly where it left off last week. The girls are all still at Ramona's, and they're in Ramona's basement, the lower level, checking out the digs because, Luann was complaining that she felt that she was, belittled by having to be in the basement. So Luann calls, and it was just so ridiculous. She called to let Ramona know again in case her text messages and her comments hadn't came across. She felt that Ramona didn't care about her, and she put her down in the basement, lower level, that smelled like dog pee and had spiders. Oh my gosh. Well, Ramona did something different than what she would normally do. She apologized to Luann, let her know that she really does love her and value her, and she apologized for putting her in the lower level basement, and asked her if she would please come back. Luann says, yes, I'll come back because I definitely want to hang out with you and the girls and I want to play tennis, but I'm not staying the night there. So I just don't get it. I mean, nothing will be perfect for this lady. There is no way that any place at any of these ladies' homes or any of the vacation villas that they have stayed in is good enough for Luann. It is ridiculous. I would just stop trying. Ma'am, come stay if you want. If not, don't come back. I mean, it's just weird, but that's Luann, and personally, I love Luann. She's one of my favorite housewives. Sonia brings up the whole trophy wife situation again in the kitchen with Tinsley and says how upset she was that somebody would call her that. Then she calls Tinsley a trophy wife, and they go back and forth about how they weren't trophy wives, and I did this and I did that, so I'm not a trophy wife. Oh my God, I married Topper. We were together in high school. I mean, it's just, it was a lot. And I totally agree with Leah.
First rule of trophy wife is if you have to explain that you weren't a trophy wife, you probably were a trophy wife.
Do you agree with Leah? I do too. If you have to keep fighting back and forth and proclaiming that you are not a trophy wife, maybe you were a trophy wife, but that's the thing. Were. Both of you women are divorced. Let it go. If somebody kept calling me a trophy wife and I disagreed with it, I would just correct them and say, excuse me, I'm an ex-wife. And go on. Who cares? Ramona's tennis coach shows up and it's like a frenzy. Ramona is trying to be sexy in front of this man. He's Italian, so he's got that amazing accent. He's speaking Italian, and she's trying to show off to flirt with the man. Then Luann shows up and she wants to show off and flirt with the man. It was a lot going on. So her and Ramona have this tennis match, and Luann wins, and then she decides to try to shoot her shot with this tennis pro. I don't know. I don't know if it was the sun or what, but Luann was hot. You know what I mean? She was after the man, any man. It was hilarious. So she tries to, shoot her shot with this guy, and he pretty much shoots her down, but he did it nicely, I guess. And she didn't let that bother her. Later on, out of nowhere, these two dog groomers show up. They come to your home to groom Sonia's dog, which I thought, Sonia, you don't even live there. But she has an appointment for her dog to be groomed. So Luann weasels in her own grooming. Honey, she followed the man all over the house. The man is at the sink trying to wash the dog, and she's like, oh, let me help you. He seems to be okay. This is what he does. The dog is this big. I think he can handle it. Nope. Luann is going to help him, honey. And then in the end, she helped herself to a massage. She got the dog groomer to give her a massage while Sonia watches on and acts ridiculous in front of the other dog groomer. I thought, what the hell? The man gives her a neck massage, an arm massage. It was a lot. And frankly, I was embarrassed watching it. But at the same time, I was having a great time. I mean, It was a lot. Leah and Tinsley are up in a room talking, and Leah says that she is quite shocked at how Sonia is still living in the past.
I married the bank.
I'm like, oh my God.
I don't need these mentions. I married the bank.
I know, bitch.
I didn't marry the banker. No, I married the bank. I had the private island. I had the yacht. It's very sad that she, won't, move on,
She won't. Considering I just met Sonia, I think it's a little strange that I know so much about the life she used to live, and I don't really know anything about the life she's living right now.
I hate to say it, but I agree. And I think that we all saw it, last season when she was acting up, when they went to that Morgan house, like the Morgan Museum, and she was, don't touch the artifacts, acting a fool. And then she created that Morgan crest. And I mean, it's a lot. I realize that divorce sometimes feels like a death and everything. And that's why I think she should seek some therapy. She needs to get some help. That man has moved on, married somebody else. I mean, her daughter has grown up. She's in college now. It's been a lot of years. And I think that this woman has still not dealt with the fact that he left her. If you listen to her talk, she still calls him her husband. He's not. I mean, it's a lot. That woman needs to get some help, because Sonia was doing a lot better by the end of last season when she wasn't drinking and she was eating better. She was not acting as crazy as she is this season. I think she must be depressed or something, and I do not want them to let this woman spiral out of control. She is really a good person that just needs some help. The girls are getting ready to have a little lunch at Ramona's, and they are standing around in the kitchen. Leah sets the table, and the lady, out of nowhere, Ramona acts a complete fool.
Can you guys help set the table? Ramona, thank you for setting the table, Leah.
Oh, you're welcome.
You didn't put forks and knives. There's no forks and knives in it.
Well, your woman told me that the forks and knives were in the napkins.
Oh, they're in the napkin.
Oh, she did that?
How rude was that? I mean, what the hell? Do I work for you? Hell no. And the woman put the silverware out there, so it's already out there. And everyone else was really ticked with Ramona. Like, how do you talk to people like that? We are guesting your home. Leah said it's okay. She's used to being talked to that way, and that's how her family communicates anyway, so it doesn't bother her. She also knows how to respect her elders, and she considers Ramona her elder, so she's just gonna let it be. Personally, I thought that something isn't right with Ramona either. What is she going through? Like, don't talk to people like that, especially if you want them to feel comfortable in your home. Luann lets the girls know that the night before, she really had a rough evening because she wanted to drink, and she has not wanted to drink like she wanted to drink that night in a very long time. And she promised herself before she came on this girls' weekend that she was not going to drink. So it was very difficult for her, but she wants to maintain her sobriety for as long as she can and not drink, and she's going to keep this promise to herself, which you really have to commend her for that. I mean, it has to be really hard to do. I don't know, her and Dorinda are saying that they don't think that she's really an alcoholic. She just needed to take a time out and realize that she needs to just, socially drink. But either way, it has to be hard when you really, really want to drink and you know that it's not good for you and you know that you can't. All I know is that I wish her the best, and I don't want her to do anything that's going to cause her any more pain or cause her to be arrested again. So I am hoping that things go well for her. However, in previews for the upcoming season, I can see that she's back to drinking. Plus, she mentioned that she was back to drinking when she was on Watch What Happens Live last week. So, good luck to Luann. So Ramona wants to go to a party. One of her friends is having a party. One of her friends is having a party there in the Hamptons, and she wants to go. But the girls don't want to go. So she says, okay, we'll stay in. So they're going to have a girls' night there at the house. And Ramona tries to invite other people there, even though it's supposed to just be a girls' night, because she has to be the life of the party, right? Everyone else was going to that party that she couldn't go to because the girls didn't want her to go. So she invites one of her friends, Jeff. Jeff shows up, and Leah wants to know, who the hell is this man when it's supposed to be an all-girl party? She picks up Tinsley's drink and takes a drink, saying that she thought it was cranberry juice. Leah lets her know it's vodka with a little cranberry juice, and Leah's like, oh, okay. So she drinks Tinsley's drink, which leads to more drinks, which lead to beer pong that they were playing with, I believe, wine or champagne. Next thing you know, Sonia goes totally berserk. She asks the guy pretty much to leave. What are you doing here? Leah doesn't like guys, but all of a sudden she likes you, and I don't know why. I want to know, what does she like you for? You should probably leave. Then she pulls out a vibrator. She starts massaging herself with this vibrator, putting it down her shirt, rolling around on the ground with Tinsley, pretending that she's gonna insert this vibrator. The man is like, what the hell is going on? The next thing you know, the man says,
You like it?
Sonia, I'm gonna have to put my finger up your ass to calm you down.
I think I'm gonna go.
and I'm with him. I would have left. What the hell is happening here with you and your friends? This is kind of weird and gross. Dorinda thought it was her time to talk to Ramona about a comment that she made about John. Dorinda says that Ramona made a comment that within 2 years her and John would be broke up, and she doesn't know why Ramona would say that because she loves John and John is the man in her life. Well, she probably says that because every season you have so many complaints about John. John is not Richard. John is not Richard. Oh my God, I want somebody to hold me. I want somebody to take care of everything. I want somebody to be a stand-up guy. Okay, that's probably why everybody thinks you're going to get smart and get rid of John at some point, because you're always saying that John is not giving you what you need. Most people in relationships who have just a little bit of sense and a means of taking care of themselves, most people who don't have to depend on somebody else in a relationship like you, Dorinda, if the person is not doing everything they need and giving them all the stuff that they need emotionally, mentally, physically, they leave. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that she has to leave him, but if you're going to keep complaining about the man, leave. So Ramona was feeling the same way.
No one could get it. We're like, he's just not like Richard.
You're full of You're full of
We can leave you.
I want her out of here and her out of here.
He's not as well spoken, as intelligent, as dignified,
He's very rude.
as suave, as chic, as traveled.
This is what you're with, Dorinda?
He's shy.
How dare you?
We're like, what are you doing with John?
I absolutely agree with Ramona. She is forever saying how John isn't like Richard. Okay, well, don't expect your friends to stick up for John. You know, don't expect your friends to support that relationship. I learned that a long time ago. If you are in a relationship with someone and you share any negative opinions about that person you are with to your friends or your family, they will hold on to that information and they will start to not like your relationship and not like that person. And it will continue to build up in your friendship. They will always remind you, remember that time he did that? Remember that time he said that? And remember that time you told me that he doesn't do that? That's why everybody always says, well, some of the people I know, that's why they always say, if you want us to stay out of your business, don't tell us your business. That's all I'm saying. But then when they showed the previews for next week, here is Dorinda sitting in the makeup chair, getting her makeup done, telling her makeup artist all the crap that she doesn't like about John. See what I mean? If you're unhappy with John, get rid of John. Otherwise, put yourself on mute. We don't want to hear it. So out of nowhere, Leah and Tinsley undress and get in the pool. Leah is having some sort of breakdown over the tiki torches. She doesn't like them. She's against them. There's a story behind them. So she picks up one of the tiki torches and throws it across the yard. With the fuel still in the damn thing. The thing was still lit. She throws it across the yard. Then they're able to convince Sonia to get naked and get in the pool too, with bottles of champagne. Then they get out of the pool, run around the pool, picking up all the tiki torches out of the yard and throwing them around the damn yard. I was like, what? These people are grown. And everybody, I think, is over 40. Everybody, I think. And then Sonia says, don't call Dorinda. They didn't want Dorinda out there in the pool with them because they said she's judgy. She'll judge them. They are hugged up, swimming around, screaming and hollering, just acting ridiculous. These three women were absolutely wasted. Luann comes outside because she hears the commotion and she wants to know what the girls are doing. Leah tells Luann to take off her denim jumpsuit and get in the pool with us. Luann says, let me think about it, and turns around and walks back in the house. Do they not get it? Luann is sober. She is not undressing and getting in that pool with you. She goes right in to let everybody know Sonia, Tinsley, and Leah are naked out in the pool. I mean, just ridiculous. They all come in, towels wrapped around them. Leah has on a see-through shirt with her boobs hanging out. There was a few comments about her boobs being a little natural. Dorinda was not having it. She said, honey, let me help you get you a shirt. Okay, this is not appropriate. She says, I haven't seen a midriff top in a long time, and I definitely haven't seen any breasts hanging out like this. So she gets her a little tank top and gets Leah dressed. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. Now we know why Leah should not be drinking. The woman is a maniac when she is drunk. Tinsley is a whiner. Sonia is a crazy person when she is drunk. Next thing you know, Sonia brings up that whole, you called me an accessory wife or whatever. She's screaming and hollering, and then drunk Leah decides this is her time. This is my time to let it rip.
The yacht has sailed. You know what? Lose Mortimer, lose Morgan. It's all good.
I'm a Morgan!
I mean, you're not a Morgan.
Yeah, I'm a Morgan!
You're not a Morgan,
Yes,
darling.
I am! I'm in the pool! No, you're not! Let it go! Let it go! Let it go! I'm in the pool!
Now see, I agree with Leah. I really do. Poor Tinsley. Her voice was already hoarse as it is, and she's trying to get something out and nothing really is coming out. Nobody's paying her any attention. Tinsley's like, what? You know, Leah's comment about Sonia dropping the Morgan, Tinsley dropping the Mortimer, you know, that broke their hearts. It really did. They're not ready. They are not ready. And I just don't know, you know, Listen. Leah was right. Dorinda was right. But the ladies are not ready. You know, legally, Sonia's last name is Morgan. Legally, Tinsley's last name is Mortimer. And, you know, those last names definitely still open doors for these two ladies. And I do think Sonia needs a little therapy. I think Tinsley's okay. I just wonder if her and Leah's relationship is going to be the same after that. I think Tinsley's feelings were truly hurt by the comments. And I know Sonia was, but she's so drunk. Lord knows. Gosh. Ramona leaves the house. Yes, Ramona got up and went to the party. She said, oh no, I really want to go to this party. I'm looking for a man, pretty much. So Ramona leaves, you know. Luann goes home. Luann is like, y'all are too messy and you drinking and stuff is everywhere. I'm going home to get in my good bed. You know, the one bed that she'll accept. So they go on and finish partying the night. The next morning when Ramona comes downstairs in her kitchen is a disaster area. Nobody wiped off one dish. No one rinsed anything. No one took out the trash. No one filled up the dishwasher. I don't understand that. Now, that's one thing I can say. Whether it's my house or I'm at someone else's house, I will not walk away and leave my dishes on the table or anywhere else. I will scrape my dishes. I will put them in their dishwasher. You know, I will not leave a mess like that. That place was a mess. They had one of Sonia's vibrators on the kitchen counter inside of a plate of chicken. I mean, it was ridiculous. But when she went out and saw her backyard, she almost lost it. And I would have lost it too. Tiki torches thrown all over the yard, including the fuel that's inside of the torches. And she's talking to Leah like, who did this? Who did this? And Leah's not saying anything. She says, I'm going to go upstairs and talk to Dorinda and Sonia. So while she goes upstairs talking to Dorinda and Sonia, Leah starts to try to do a little magic cleanup on the kitchen. Meanwhile, Dorinda and Sonia are upstairs in the bed with face mask on and the dog, and Sonia is brushing her dog with Dorinda's hairbrush. Where do they do that? Okay, Dorinda says, that is my hairbrush, and no. So Ramona shows up and she's like, what the hell happened to my house? She's all upset, and Sonia lets her know that Leah threw a torch, so I threw a torch, you know. So she's like, what? I was just talking to Leah about those torches and she didn't mention that she did it at all. So by the time Ramona gets downstairs, Leah has cleaned the kitchen because Ramona was about to read her the riot act. It was ridiculous. Next thing you know, Dorinda comes downstairs and,
You should have stayed here last night and said, let's all clean together.
Did you leave?
Yes, she left.
You
That's
left here?
right. Let me do that. In fact, next time, leave instructions. I'll wash your toilet as well.
No. And look,
Now,
there's a
this is ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. That's what got me upset.
Kitchen's one thing.
Okay.
But look
I
at
wasn't
this.
upset.
Look
This,
at,
I know.
This is like a frat house.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm telling you, these girls are a handful. I mean, if they were all in their 20s, maybe even early 30s, I would say, maybe they didn't know any better. But come on now, know your limit. You know, at some point you got to know your limit. And, you know, I agree with Ramona and Dorinda. Dorinda says Ramona should have never left. I agree. You shouldn't have left your party. These people are in your house. They are a guest for the weekend. You don't just leave them to go hang out with somebody else. That's not cool. But she shouldn't expect to come home to having her kitchen and her backyard to be destroyed like that. That's not okay. At the same time, Dorinda reminded her when she came to her house last year and she ripped those pictures off her wall in her bedroom and ripped off the paint, and Dorinda had to have that room repainted. That was disrespectful as well. So they have both been disrespected. They both disrespected each other, and this is not okay. At this point, I think they should have hotels for all of their get-togethers. Like, don't go to each other's homes anymore if you people can't show respect. It's a lot. And the episode for next week seems like Sonia has some kind of fashion show. It goes haywire. Tinsley is upset. She's talking about her mom, and her mom doesn't like her, didn't want her to wear her hair curly or something. Her and her mom have a weird relationship. She's 40 or about to be 42 or something. Why in the hell is your mom telling you how to wear your hair? This is a weird situation for me, and I just think it's odd. That's all I'm saying. Oh, but anyway, I'm totally into it, and I can't wait till next week's episode. So until next time, bye.